Chapter 5. Bob helps get dinner. Yep. I want to remind you to stay hydrated. And what am I drinking today? Today I have some Tulsi water. Tulsi is a type of basil, and it's growing in my garden right now. And it's very refreshing to add some to your ice water. Guess who? Said a voice behind Bettina as two hands blinded her eyes. Why, Bob dear, good for you. How did you get home so early? I caught a ride with Dixon in his new car, and I thought you might need me to help get dinner. It's nice to be needed. But here I've been picturing you toiling over a hot stove, and instead I find you on the porch with a magazine as cool as a cucumber. The day of toiling over a hot stove in summer is over, at least for anyone with sense. But I'm glad you did come home early, and you can help with dinner. Will you make the French dressing for the salad? See, I'll measure it out, and you can stir it this way with a fork until it's well mixed and a little thick. I know a much better way than that. Just watch your Uncle Bob, see? I'll put it in this little mason jar and shake it. It's a lot easier, and there you are. We'll use what we need tonight. Put the jar away in the icebox, and the next time we can give it another good shaking before we use it. Why, Bob, what an ingenious boy you are. I never would have thought of that. You married a man with brains, Betty dear. What is there besides the salad? Halibut steak. It's Friday, you know, and there is such good, inexpensive fish on the market. A pound is plenty for us. The potatoes are ready for the white sauce. The beans are in the fireless cooker. And for dessert, there is fresh pineapple sliced. The pineapple is all ready. Will you get it, dear, in the icebox in a covered jar? Why didn't you slice it into the serving dish? Because it had to be covered tight. Pineapple has a penetrating odor, and milk and butter absorb it in no time. What else shall I do, Madam Bettina? Well, you may fix the lemon for the fish. No, not sliced. A slice is too hard to handle. Just cut it in halves, and then once the other way, in quarters, see? You may also cut up a little of that parsley for the creamed new potatoes. That reminds me that I'm going to have parsley growing in a kitchen window box someday. Now, you can take the beans out of the cooker, and I'll put butter sauce on them. No, it isn't really a sauce, just melted butter with salt and pepper. There, Bobby dear. Dinner is served, and you helped. How do you like the coreopsis on the table? You always manage to have flowers of some kind, don't you, Betty? I'm growing so accustomed to that little habit of yours that I suppose I wouldn't have any appetite if I had to eat on an ordinary, undecorated table. Don't you make fun of me, old fellow. You'd have an appetite no matter when, how, or what you had to eat. But things are good tonight, aren't they? Bob had helped to prepare halibut steak, new potatoes in cream, string beans, butter sauce, bread, butter, tomato, cucumber, and pimento salad, French dressing, sliced fresh pineapple. All right, so for Chapter 5's discussion in our 1917 cookbook, we're going to look through what Bettina is trying to teach us here. So notice that Bob was walking home from work in most cases, but this time he got a ride because his friend Dixon had gotten a car. So Bob got a ride that day and got home early and found Bettina sitting around. He thought she'd be slaving over a hot stove. And remember, it's June, so Bettina tells him, no. In the summer months, when it's hot, we don't want to heat up the kitchen. We want to make things that aren't going to make us so uncomfortable inside and warm up the house. So she ends up having her dinner be things that she can make quickly. And one thing that she made to go over her salad was she made some homemade dressing, and she calls it the French dressing. So Bob was the one that she enlisted to put the dressing together and shake it up. He discovered that if he shook it rather than stirring it, that it would mix really well. And so he was helping in that way. And so I got this jar from my mother. It is an old dressing jar from a vegetable oil company, I believe, that used to give out these jars with their oil. But anyway, French dressing. And I'd like to encourage you to make your salad dressings at home. One certain thing is that the oils used in the dressings that you find pre-made at the store that we all love so much and eat a lot, you might want to look into that and see what you think about continuing feeding your family with those oils. So at home you can use some good olive oil for your dressings, and they're also very economical to make. And then, of course, she's doing white sauce again on potatoes. And this time she's going to have some fresh pineapple. So one thing you will want to do is save the core, because in her next chapter, she's going to use the core in a very interesting way. So look forward to that with me. She will have him chop the lemon into quarters to use that with the fish. And she is also talking about her parsley and how she hopes to have a windowsill garden with some herbs, including parsley, and that will be convenient for her to use in her cooking. And she is, of course, having a centerpiece again, this time with some coreopsis. So hopefully you enjoyed that, and that I will encourage you again to make your salad dressings at home and to keep a notebook for your homemaking, in which you will write down your favorite tips and things that you learn, things that work well, things that don't, and just keep track. All right, God bless you.